graphing linear inequalities into variables. So you have 4 different types of inequalities. You have something where it's x plus y is less than c, x plus y is less than or equal to c, x plus y is greater than c, or x plus y is greater than or equal to c, correct? We have 4 different kinds of inequalities. My question is this: when you graph inequalities just on a number line, okay, or if you graph inequalities in general, just like on a graph on a y-x axis, how do you know if the lines are like dotted or solid? What goes on? Do you remember that? What?
If it's dotted,
Is the dotted one the one without the?
Yes. So if I have this sign or this sign, I've got dotted lines, okay? So if you have less than or if you have greater than, you have dotted lines. If you have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, okay, you have a solid line. Okay. So when you are graphing inequalities, you have to make sure that you do that step right, or else it's wrong.
It kind of makes sense with the 9 under
Yep.
solid.
There you go. That's how you can remember. Perfect. Okay. So the first step we're going to have to be able to do is we're going to have to be able to plug in points to x and y and solve an inequality and tell you which one works or if they all work. Okay. So it says which ordered pair is a solution of 3x plus 4y is greater than 8. So if I plug in 6 and -3 to this, 3 times 6 plus 4 times -3, is that greater than 8? 3 times 6 is what?
18.
18, and 4 times -3 is greater than 8. So is 6 greater than 8? No, so A does not work, okay? This is just plug and chug stuff. You have to do it this way. So 3 times 0 plus 4 times 2 greater than 8. So is 8 greater than 8? No. So B doesn't work. 3 times -2 plus 4 times -1, is that going to be greater than 8?
No.
No, because they're both negative numbers, so there's no way it's
Then
going to
it's
be.
just D.
So then it has to be D.
But is it going to be one where D, all of them don't work?
Well, we're going to double check just to make sure. -3 times, or I'm sorry, 3 times -3 plus 4 times 5 is greater than 8. So I get -9 plus 20 is greater than 8. -9 plus 20 gives me 11. Is 11 greater than 8?
Yes.
Yes. So D is my solution. So on your homework tonight, you're going to have a bunch where it says, see if these points make this statement true or false.
So like you said, could there be where they don't all fit?
Yeah, there could be, especially on your homework, because it's not going to be which ordered pair. It's going to say, are the ordered pairs solutions.
So what happens if none of them are?
Then you just say none are about.
This
Yeah.
is the unit that we don't actually have to like find the answers to the equation.
Correct.
This one throws me off.
Yes. Okay.
Wait, so we just have to do this and you're done?
Pretty much.
So you just have to do that, and then you're done. You have to tell me which ordered pair fits this statement. Okay. When we go to graph, I have 4 different graphs up here. How would I graph y is less than or equal to -3?
Oh,
When you graph horizontally.
you would go.
Yes, I would go horizontally. Where do I need to go to?
Negative.
Jump 3. And then
I need to go to -3, correct, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I go to -3. Is it dotted or solid line?
Solid.
And you said I go horizontally. Now you have to test a point. If your graph doesn't go through 0, 0, I say always plug in 0, 0. If I plug 0 into this and I say 0 is less than or equal to -3, is that a true or false statement?
That's true.
0 is less
Well, I
than
mean-
or equal to -3?
Well, no.
No. So this statement does not work, so I have to shade away. I don't shade the side that 0, 0 is on. I shade the side it's not on. So when you are graphing these, you are going to have shading with every graph that you do.
Oh, I don't like this.
Here it is too. What here?
Cole, I'm out. I'm done. So I shade
That's what I
down
did.
below that line because 0, 0 is above that line and that is a false statement. Okay? I come over here. How do you graph y is less than 2? Or x is less than 2, I'm sorry. How do you graph x is less than 2?
You go 2 to the right
Okay?
and draw a line vertical.
A dotted line vertically. Good. A
Plug in
dotted line.
0, 0, and it's gonna go.
So if I plug in 0, is 0 less than 2? Yes. So I'm going to shade where 0 is. Okay?
So if it doesn't work,
Mm-hmm.
then you always
Then you shade
Shade
opposite, yes, then you shade away. And if it does work, you shade where it's at. Correct. Correct, correct, correct. Okay, let's try.
wait. So
Mm-hmm.
what if there's like a point that's like 0?
If it goes through 0, 0, then you have to pick a different point to plug in.
Like 1.
So plug in 1, 0 or 2, 0 or something like that. You just cannot plug in a point that is already on that line. Okay? So up here, this is an example of one of those. Let's look at this. Where is my y-intercept?
Zero.
It would be 0. So I can't plug in 0, 0 this time. What is my slope? So I go down 2 over 1 or up 2 over 1. Dotted or solid line? Dotted. So here's the graph of this one. Now, I can't plug in 0, 0, but I can plug in 1, 0 because that's not on the line. If I plug in 1, 0, okay, that means I plug 0 into y. 0 is greater than negative 2 times 1. Is 0 greater than negative 2?
Yes.
So I am shading this whole side where 1, 0 is. Okay?
Okay, so yeah, so if it does work, you shade where the
Yes, if it does work, you shade where that is. If it doesn't work, you shade where it's not. Okay, this equation, what do you think we need to do
I
to
have
it
a
first?
question
What?
about The last one.
Okay, what's your question?
How do we know it starts at 0, 0?
Because there's no y-intercept. It's in y equals mx plus b form right now. Pretend that said equals, and it would say y equals negative 2x plus 0, because my b is 0 in that case.
Oh, alright.
Okay, what do I need to do to this equation before I can graph it?
you need to put the y by itself.
I do, so I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides so that you get negative 2y is less than or equal to negative 5x minus 4. Then you have to divide by negative 2. What happens when you divide an inequality by a negative? It changes the sign. So now it says greater than or equal to
I remember this one.
5 seconds x plus 2. Now I can graph this equation. Okay? Do not forget to flip the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's kind of annoying, right? Cole is loving this whole lesson, I can
Oh
tell.
yes, this is remember.
Oh, yes.
Remember.
You sound like the Bill from I'm Just a Bill or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
You think-
Not all good memories.
Okay, where is my y-intercept?
2.
2. What is my slope?
5
Up 5 over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 2. Or I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and over 2. Dotted or solid line?
Solid.
Solid.
So
Okay, use a straight edge. I don't have one on this board, but use a straight edge. It'll make your graph perfect. Okay, what numbers am I going to plug into that equation?
0.
Yeah, because I doesn't go through 0, 0, so why not? 0 is greater than or equal to 5 seconds times 0 plus 2. Is 0 greater than or equal to 2?
no.
No, so I shade
Away.
opposite away. Okay,
I have that down.
I have that.
you have the shading, you have the line down. It's
I
putting
just
it
feel like
actually.
I just feel like the when you divide it by negative
Negative, you're gonna forget to flip this out. Okay, that is what we're going to work on tonight. We're gonna focus on those two main points.
I guess I should take notes